Hello, and I thought I would actually surprise you guys with one of these videos on the channel without actually even announcing it and just dropping it like boom. I'm back. Play the intro music. Hello and welcome to Hospital Survival Guide. My name is Dr. Moses Kazevu. This is on my YouTube channel where we actually look at hospital related topic, medical school related topic, just how to survive the hospital, how to survive medical school. In today's episode, we're going to be looking at 5 habits that are hindering your progress in medical school. Yeah, some people say that medical school is easy. I don't know who ever say that. No one ever say that. I think I'm just making stuff up right now. So we all know that medical school isn't really easy, right? Right? Or maybe I'm the only one who was struggling in medical school.
Stop the cap.
Yeah, but medical school really isn't really easy. And there are certain habits that we actually carry with us from pre-med, there's certain habits that you carry with you from high school that you think actually are going to be working, and sometimes they may actually even be working in medical school until lo and behold, you get to maybe like 4th year, you get to 5th year, and you realize that whatever methods you were using are all of a sudden they're not working. Then you even just start to question your existence in life. You're like, my God, how did I even get here? Some people even contemplate about quitting. Yeah, I know it's a very common thing in medical school. Funny story, I actually almost quit at one point in my medical school, but I think that's a topic for another video. So I decided to actually come up with this video because I know you guys miss me, and I know we've crossed 6,000. Actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. 5,000 subscribers, and I'm on the road to 6,000 subscribers. So before I actually even jump into the video, if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? About 25% of the people that actually watch the videos on this channel are not subscribed. And I wonder who those people are. Like, if I would just have 5 minutes, just 5 minutes to talk to them, then I think I would have a word with them, and I think we would actually have reached 6,000 subscribers by now. So in this episode, we're going to be talking about 5 things that are hindering your progress in medical school, beginning with numero uno. So this is pretty much lack of consistency and a lack of motivation. What do I mean? Today you wake up, okay, and you know that medical students are always tired, and let me not even lie to you, the fatigue never ends. And I repeat, the fatigue never ends. You're like, always, even right now I'm tired, I'm supposed to actually be taking a nap, but I decided, oh well, I'm actually home alone, there's not so much noise, I think it's time for me to record a video. So a lack of consistency. What do I mean? Today you wake up and you don't feel like studying, and you tell yourself, okay, fine, cool, I'm not going to study today, I'm going to study maybe later. You decide to take a nap, and we all know those games. I never really used to play those games where I say, let me take a nap and then I'll wake up. Those are lies, my guy, lies. So I used to have consistency. So consistency doesn't mean the same thing as motivation. Okay, you can be consistent at something without even having the motivation to do it. Meaning that you are consistently doing something regardless of how you feel, regardless of the state where you are, regardless of whatever is happening in your life. That's the first and foremost key thing. If you really need to succeed and you really need to progress in your medical school, is to be having this consistency. So when it comes to consistency, what do I mean? Your studying should always be at the same time, preferably even the same length, and covering the similar amount of content. I'm not saying reading the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over, because you're not going to get time to actually read through things like as if you have 20 years to complete this academic year. So here's a solution that I would actually offer you. For example, let's say your weakest course is pediatrics, because I'm in pediatrics, and who knows, kids are really, let's not get into that. So let's say that you're in pediatrics, right? And you say that you have 7 weeks to rotate on the ward. So for you to create a habit of consistency, it will mean that you're going to be having to do the same thing each and every single day for the next 7 weeks. So it means that if you're going to be studying, you know that your study is supposed to be at 16 hours each and every single day. Make sure that at 16 hours, whether you're on a bus, whether you're in the shower, that would be awkward though. Imagine that you're in the shower and then you just whip out a book and you just call your roommate, please bring me a book. That would be very, very awkward. So but my point is consistency. So if you consistently have the same study schedule, at least I can say for 90 days, I can guarantee you, 90 days is like 3 months, I can guarantee you that you will see some change in your life. Now, of course, consistency also goes hand in hand with motivation, but I would opt for you to have consistency over motivation, because there will be some days where you actually wake up and you don't actually even feel like studying, you don't feel like doing anything, and these are some of the days where actually consistency is going to be carrying you through. There are some people that actually lose certain interests, so actually if you are in first year or second year, ask yourself if you're actually ready to be doing this for the next 4 years, if you're going to be ready to do this for the rest of your life. Because trust me guys, the studying never ends. Like it never finishes, guys. Like it never ends. Then coming to the second point of this video of the 5 things that, or the 5 habits that are hindering your progress in medical school, the second thing is that you have over planning. I know you're probably looking at the video like, huh? Dr. MK7, how can someone over plan? Relax, my son. Calm down. Calm down. Relax. Relax. Okay? Are you relaxed now? Yes. So someone can actually over plan. Have you ever made a timetable? I know I'm one of those people that actually have once done this in my life, so I know exactly what it means. You make a timetable for, let's say, the whole month, right? You make a timetable for the whole month and you're actually supposed to study for the whole month, and you actually write topics, and then 3 weeks into the timetable you realize that, oh, I'm really lagging behind with this timetable, it's not working out. That's what I mean by over planning. Sorry, this code is actually hasn't yet finished from the time I did the other video. I guess we should really check for other things. Anyways, so you should actually not overplan. So suppose you now find yourself that you're 3 weeks into your study plan and you realize that you've only covered a quarter of those topics. What does that mean? You overplanned. You overestimated your abilities. You thought that, 2 topics a day, even though I advocate for a topic a day, keeps the sap away, but you told yourself that, what is this guy talking about? He's just some guy that's on YouTube that has a channel. I'll do my own thing. Then you realize that you end up putting 2 topics and then you're halfway through your study plan and you actually haven't even done half the topics, and your end of rotation is coming soon and you're probably even writing on a Thursday, who knows? And then you realize that I don't have enough time to study. What happens? You panic, and then after you panic, you now are not really studying, and then you're not really learning the information. Time is moving, you're panicking even more. You see this vicious cycle that you have actually created. Now, how do you break this vicious cycle? Make sure that you make a timetable that's not going to leave you overwhelmed. That's the first thing. Don't make a timetable for the rest of the month. The longest you should actually make a study timetable should be at most 3 days. I'm not saying this is like something that is set in stone. If you actually can set one for a whole week and actually follow it for the week straight to the bone, then that's good for you. I mean, you're amazing. But if you're like me, who has an attention span of a rat, pretty much you want to make a timetable that's going to be for pretty much shorter periods, maybe 2 or 3 days, at most 3 days. You can say that today I'm going to study this and that, then tomorrow I'm going to study this and that, and then every after 2 days you are re-looking at your schedule, ticking through the topics, and this way it'll actually give you a feel-good effect and actually some motivation and some interest, like you're showing a lot of progress, especially if you're ticking out the topics that you're having. Then coming to the third point, which is pretty much not understanding your memory. It's like not knowing who you are, or not knowing what you are. You don't even know what you're doing in medical school, so why am I even going that far? So not understanding your memory. So I was reading something that was actually very, very interesting on one of these apps concerning study techniques, and actually they showed that each and every single person has a decay curve, which is what I'm going to show on your screen right now. So each and every single person has a decay curve to their memory. So from the beginning of the curve, which is where you're most knowledgeable about the topic, and the end of the curve, which is where most likely you're going to begin to forget. So you have to actually know your individual memory curve. If your memory curve is as short as that of a cockroach, meaning that you can only retain information for like a space of 2 days, it means that every after 2 days, you must be revising what you had learned the previous 2 days so that you keep it fresh in your mind. By doing so, you actually help your memory reinforce those things in your memory. And remember that repetition is always the key. So the key thing is here is learn your decay curve. So for example, you can actually carry out a very simple test where you read a topic, then tell your friend to actually ask you about, tell your friend that, okay, I'm going to start reading the topic on this particular day. Then please ask me maybe questions after 4 days, after 5 days. Some people even on the words, you just ask them after 24 hours of them studying the topic and they have no idea. So if your memory curve is after 24 hours, then please make sure that every after 24 hours you go through the topics that you were actually reading. So once you do this and you actually are able to now master when exactly you're about to forget, you can actually remind yourself of the work that you studied prior to you actually forgetting, and in this way it will actually solidify your memory and you'll be able to remember concepts that people have long forgotten. Meanwhile, you actually have a lot of this detail in your mind. Then coming to the fourth point, which is very, very important, is pretty much using the wrong study method. This one here is like sheep are just following each other to the slaughterhouse and they're all thinking that, oh, that seems like it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of screaming that's happening there. Maybe there's a jumping castle inside there. And you also keep following someone who's leading you with a study method that was probably designed years ago, a study method that probably won't even work for you. I always say this to people. What worked for me may not work for you. You are not MK, I am not John or whatever random person you are that's watching the video. Big shout out if you have actually reached this far in the video. It means you're really dedicated to the channel. I think I should get you all some presents. So please comment in the section below what you would actually want as a gift. Please don't say a car, because yeah, I also want one. So pretty much using the wrong study method. So for example, if for me videos work the most, I hate flashcards. I love reading detailed things, then that would work for me. And that would be very, very important for me to actually follow. If I actually start using flashcards, I find them really pointless and I find them very annoying because they're a lot and they can actually get messed up, and I feel like they don't have enough information for me to actually read, and I can easily stray away and not really concentrate on what the flashcard actually wants me to learn. So if someone suggests to me that use flashcards, I'll just look at them and I'm like, yeah, in the back of my mind I'll just be saying, boy, you're just wasting your time. Have you ever been in a very serious conversation and in your mind you've just zoned out and you're thinking of probably something else, probably even thinking of like dancing cows or something like that? I don't know, people think of very weird things. So find a study method that actually works for you. If videos actually work for you, make it a habit that each and every single time during your study periods, each and every single time you incorporate videos inside your study technique. And then if flashcards work for you and you're one of those weirdos, yeah, use flashcards. If long textbooks, if reading summaries actually works for you, read the summaries, but make sure that at the end of the day you're able to retain the information. At the end of the day you're able to answer the questions that are asked to you in that relevant topic. The rule of thumb is this: if you are using your study method and someone is asking you questions and you can't even answer any of their questions, then your study method is probably a whole lot of, I'm not even going to say it. So make sure that you make a lot of research, you do a lot of research on different study methods and actually tailor whatever study method works for you. I cannot go into study methods in just one video because this video is actually going to be longer than I planned. Then the fifth and the final thing, which is the most important thing whenever it comes to medical school, the single most habit that is actually killing your progress in medical school is pretty much comparisons and competition. I know you're saying, but competition is healthy. If we do not compete, we never better ourselves. I never said who you're competing with. Picture this: you have student A, but John is getting a 98 in physiology. How come I get a 98? How come I can't get a 98? What must I do? I spend the whole time in the library, I'm studying all the time, I'm looking at past papers. At the end of the day I get a 50 and John still gets a 98. So you should never compete with anybody else. The person that you must actually compete with is your previous self. So competition with yourself. Don't compete with other people, because you never know. John might have dreamt of the paper, or maybe he's dreaming of the paper somehow, and that's how he's getting 98s. And you don't have that ability to dream of the paper. Because you know that in medical school, if someone dreams of the paper, they may not share the dream with you. So if John has dreamt of the paper, you may not dream of the paper. So make sure that you are in a constant competition to better yourself. You must always do better than your previous self. If, for example, in third year, you just got uncharged capocations, meaning you just got C minuses, C straight, C, like as if you're going fishing. I know most of you are going to miss that pun, but oh well. So if you got C's in the previous semester, aim to at least get C pluses in the next semester, or even better yet, B pluses. If your CA was like 20 out of 40, or even maybe younger than your age, make sure that at least this time you up your CA and make sure that it's in the 30s. In this way, you're constantly bettering yourself and you're constantly making sure that you're doing much better in the near future. And with that said, those are 5 habits that are actually killing your progress or hindering your progress in medical school. If you actually enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button. It does help the channel. Hit the bell notification icon to be receiving notifications of such videos every time I post. Drop a like, drop a comment to show some support to Zambia and beyond. My name is Dr. Moses Kazevu. Until the next time, bye-bye.